So, as you might already know, we got some brand new Ducky skins, as well as a return of the original ones. In today's video, I'll be showcasing every single level of every single Ducky skin. Before I continue, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to join the Blue Head Mafia. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. Also, if you want to talk to me, suggest videos, or maybe even be in one, consider joining the Blue Head Mafia Discord. It's a great time and I hope to see you there. Let's start off with the new Ducky Warden skin. At level 0, it just has a yellow shirt with a ducky hat and not much else going on. At level 1, it gains some gloves, but that's pretty much it. At level 2, its baton turns into a breadstick, which I think is pretty cool. At level 3, that breadstick turns into a sandwich. At a max level, it gets this really cool red and black theme, as well as the fact that the sandwich now has these spikes in it. Personally, I think the skin looks amazing, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, we got the shotgunner. At level 0, all it has is a yellow shirt and a ducky hat. At level 2, it gains some gloves. At level 3, its shotgun turns into a different kind of shotgun. I don't really know what it is, I'm not that into guns. At level 4, it gets a vest of pellets, which I guess it uses to shoot better. And at level 5, it turns into this really cool red and black theme, kind of similar to what the warden had. I really like this one. I think the ski mask is cool, I like the horns. I'm going to give this one a 8.5 out of 10. I think it's really good, but the warden's just a bit more unique. Next up, we got the commander. At the first level, it has an orange shirt, a yellow jacket, and a ducky hat. At level 1, it gets some gloves and goggles. I don't know if I'm blind, but it doesn't seem like there's any difference between the level 1 commander and the level 2 commander. At level 3, it now has white clothing, and personally, I like this a lot because it makes it look more like those little fat farm ducks you just want to. The max commander now has a red and black scheme with some red horns. This looks really cool, but personally, I prefer the previous level. The one thing I do really like about this is the fact that the pallet it's standing on is not like this round circular stage. I think that's pretty neat. Overall, I'm going to give the commander skin a 7 out of 10. It's cool, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the commander has a lot of other skins that are way cooler. So, yeah. Next up, we got the one and only Ducky Farm. At level 0, it's just a little nest with some eggs inside of it. But at level 1, one of those eggs hatch, so now we got a little cute duck in there. At level 2, it's got a little barn house around it because I guess the duck is turning humongous. At level 3, the farm is now surrounded by some eggs. At level 4, the duck is even more massive. And at level 5, it's so big that it broke through the roof. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite skins in the game. It's just so goofy. And not to mention, it also makes this quacking noise whenever you make money, which is just great. Honestly, this is a 10 out of 10 skin. More like this, please. Next up, we got the Ducky Cowboy. At level 0, it wears a ducky onesie, has some ducky slippers, a ducky hat, and a ducky gun. Also, in the ducky hat's mouth, it has a little straw, which I think is pretty dope. At level 1, all it gets is some gloves. At level 2, it gets some sunglasses. At level 3, its gun turns into bread for some reason, and it now holds the gun with one hand. Also, it has a strap full of bread, so I guess bro just keeps that bread handy. At level 4, it now holds 2 guns and has a big orange scarf. At max level, it now has red and black clothes. It no longer has bread guns, unfortunately. It's got some red visors, a duck beak, and some demon horns on its fedora. Not gonna lie, I think this is probably one of my favorite cowboy skins in the entire game. It's got some competition, but I really think the level 0 has a lot of detail and the max level just looks sick. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, we got the minigunner. At level 0, it has a yellow shirt. At level 1, it gets some glasses and a duck beak. At level 2, it gets a pair of lights on its glasses. At level 3, its minigun now has 2 barrels. At level 4, it now has a black and red color palette. It gets a red visor and red horns. I think this might be my favorite skin for this tower. The color palette just looks so good, and it's just such high quality. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but I don't think the level 0 minigunner is very good, so I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Next up, we got the Ducky Hunter. At level 0, it has a yellow shirt and a ducky hat. At level 1, it gets some black gloves. At level 2, it gets some headphones. At level 3, it gets an orange visor and its gun turns green. At level 4, it gets an orange mask and its gun turns black. I'm gonna be honest, this skin is really disappointing. Compared to the other Ducky skins, there really isn't much going on. Because of that, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Next up, we got the Ducky Soldier. It has a yellow shirt, a ducky hat, and some camouflage pants. At level 1, it gets some gloves. At level 2, it gets some headphones and an orange visor. At level 3, it now has black shoulder pads and its gun has a drum magazine instead. At max level, it gets a new gun and some orange pants. I kind of feel the same about the skin as I did with the Hunter. It's pretty underwhelming. A lot of the other duck skins have a lot going on, and because the skin is pretty boring, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Next up, we got the Ducky Militant. At level 0, it has a yellow shirt and a ducky hat. At level 1, it gains some black gloves, an orange visor, and some headphones. The level 2 upgrade is exactly the same. The level 3 upgrade gets a red laser and some straps on its arms. And finally, the max level Militant has black clothes, a green laser, a mask, and some red horns. I gotta say this skin looks pretty cool. While the max level is obviously my favorite, I think all of its levels are pretty good. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Up next is the Ducky Scout. It has a yellow hoodie, duck slippers, an orange gun, and a ducky hat. At level 1, it gets some gloves. At level 2, it gets some orange visors and headphones. At level 3, it gets an orange vest, orange shoulder pads, and a baguette silencer. At level 4, it now dual wields 2 guns. I think this skin's pretty cool. All the levels are really nice, and even though the max level isn't black and red, I still think it works. I'm gonna give the skin a 7.5 out of 10. Next up, we have the Ducky Electroshocker. It's a yellow duck onesie, duck slippers, a duck hat, and a yellow gun. At level 1, it gets some black gloves and an orange visor. At level 2, it gets some headphones. At level 3, it gets some shoulder pads and a black vest. At level 4, its taser changes into a really cool black and red, and it also gets an evil little duck on top of it. And at max level, its color palette changes to black and red, it has a completely red visor, red horns, and just looks absolutely sick. I'm gonna just say this, other than the Ducky farm, this is my favorite Ducky skin. And out of 10, it looks amazing. Next, we have the Ducky Sniper. At level 0, it has a yellow shirt and a backwards ducky hat. At level 1, it gets a pair of black gloves. At level 2, it gets an orange visor and a pair of headphones. At level 3, its gun turns green and it gets an orange backpack. Finally, at level 4, its gun is upgraded into a Barrett 50 cal. Honestly, this skin doesn't have much going for it, but I do still think it looks good. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Next, we got the Ducky Mortar. It has a yellow suit, a ducky hat, and its mortar has a ducky head lodged inside of it. At level 1, it gains a pair of black gloves. At level 2, it gets a black vest and some headphones. At level 3, its mortar is way bigger, and the mortar is now sitting within a nest with a couple of ducks. At max level, the mortar is now once again increased in size, had its colors changed to black and red, it has some red horns attached to it, and the ducks within the nest have turned evil. I think the skin's really cool, but the only thing I think that's holding it back is the actual mortar dude himself. Because their colors don't match, I'm gonna rank it as a 7.5 out of 10. Next, we have the Ducky Engineer. At level 0, it has an orange suit. At level 1, it gains a pair of glasses and a radar. At level 2, nothing really changes. At level 3, the Engineer's gun has a gas tank added to it. At level 4, the Engineer gets a red cloth at its waist and a Ducky hard hat. At the max level, the Engineer gets a brand new gun and some bandages on its arm. Overall, I think the skin looks pretty nice, but it doesn't really have much to do with ducks. The only thing related to the duck is his hat, and because of that, I'm gonna have to dock some points. I'm gonna give this skin a 6.5 out of 10. Last, but definitely not least, we got the Ducky Accelerator. It has a yellow onesie, duck slippers, its accelerator gun has neon yellow lights, and it has a little duck on top of its gun. At level 1, it gets some black gloves, shoulder pads, and a yellow visor. At level 2, it has a gray ring around its neck. At level 3, it has some neon lights around its hands and caution tape on its arms. At level 4, it now has a ducky hood around its head with yellow neon lights. And finally, at level 5, it has a black and red color scheme, a red visor, red horns, red wings, and instead of the tape saying caution, they now say evil duck, which I think is a really cool detail. Overall, this skin is just amazing. I mean, genuinely, out of all of the amazing accelerator skins we already have, this one is by far my favorite. The colors just go great together and it really fits the vibe of an accelerator. I'm gonna give it a strong 10 out of 10. Well, that's all of the duck skins. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comments below which one of these skins is your favorite. And now that I finished this video, it's 1 AM and I'm going to sleep. Good night. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe to join the Bluehead Mafia. My name is Corso, and I'll see y'all in the next video.